students, wherever you are. Matt here with your weekly devotional, encouraging you to do all that you do to the glory of God. And we all, with unveiled face, beholding the glory of the Lord, are being transformed into the same image from one degree of glory to another. For this comes from the Lord, who is the Spirit. We are all being changed daily. For those who are in Christ, we have been justified, which means declared legally righteous through faith in Christ, and are continuously being sanctified, conformed to the image of Christ. But what does it mean to change? And how is it that things can change and yet remain the same? In our last devotional, we talked about existence, that a thing is, and essence, what a thing is, and how this led Thomas Aquinas to reason that there must be something at the bottom or beginning of existence, whose very essence it is to exist, to give existence to creation itself. And he reasoned that this was God. Now this week I want to build off of our discussion of existence and essence and talk about what's called actuality and potential. Now, the reason I'm excited to discuss this with you is because I want to provide you with a reasoned defense for your faith. Thomas Aquinas recognized that faith and reason are not things that are opposed to one another, rather they exist in harmony. He once wrote, "Since faith rests upon infallible truth, and since the contrary of a truth can never be demonstrated, it is clear that the arguments brought against faith cannot be demonstrations, but are difficulties that can be answered. While faith is above reason, it's not opposed to it. Reason prepares the way for faith. Faith can grasp divine truths like the Trinity that reason alone cannot reach, but faith and reason are harmonious because all truth is ultimately God's truth." So with that, let's look for a moment at Aquinas' argument for God's existence from what's called actuality and potentiality. But first, let's again ask the question, what is change? And again, how is it that something can change and still remain the same? How is it that a baby, let's call him John, can grow into an adult and still remain the same person? Or think of a seed. It has the potential to become a tree. Right now, it's not yet a tree, but it could be. As it grows, it becomes a sapling, then a full-grown tree. At each stage, more of its potential is being actualized. When it's fully mature, it's actualized as what it was always meant to be. So in this instance, potentiality is what the seed can become, and actuality is what it is right now. So how does this relate to the question of essence, what a thing is, and its existence, that a thing is? Well, a tree has an essence, what it is, and its growth moves from potential, the seed, to actual, the tree. Now, how did Aquinas use this framework to reason to God? This is what's been called the first of the 5 ways of Aquinas' reasoning to God. And this argument is an argument from change or motion, which he described as the actualization of potential. Anything that changes goes from potential to actual. For example, a cold log becoming hot has the potential for heat, but that potential is made actual by something already hot, like a fire. So, nothing can move from potential to actual by itself. It needs something already actual to do it. So let's break this down in Aquinas' language. In the first way, his argument from motion or change. 1. Things move, i.e. change. This is observable and undeniable. 2. Whatever is moved by another. A thing can't actualize its own potential while still in potency. A match can't ignite itself without a spark. 3. This chain can't go on infinitely. If every mover had to be moved by another, you'd never get movement started. There must be a first unmoved mover, something that is pure actuality with no potentiality. 4. The first mover is what we call God. God is actus purus, pure act, with no potential. He is not moved, changed, or caused by anything else. Now, why does this work for Aquinas? Potentiality requires something else to actualize it. A purely potential being would never exist. Therefore, there must be a being that is fully actual, needing no cause or movement. This is the necessary foundation of all being. God is not composed of potential and act like creatures are. He is pure act, and therefore eternal, unchanging, and necessary. The theological implications of this is that this argument isn't just abstract philosophy. It directly informs Aquinas' doctrine of God. God is immutable or unchanging. He's eternal. He's not bound by time, which implies change. God is simple. He's not made of parts or potentiality. And God is necessary. He cannot not exist. Now, believe me, I understand that this is a complicated topic, but the reason I'm speaking to you about it is because, one, it fascinates me, and two, it's good for you to familiarize yourselves with these foundational arguments for the existence of God as an apologetic. Also, this has direct implications for your Christian walk. You were created with a specific essence, what you are, your human nature. But we are not yet fully who we were made to be. We have potential for growth, maturity, and holiness. The process that we are all going through as God's people is sanctification. We are growing in holiness and conformity to Christ. Sanctification is the actualization of what God has made you in Christ. We are being sanctified, as it says in Ephesians chapter 4, verses 13 through 15. Until we all attain to the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of God, to mature manhood, to the measure of the stature of the fullness of Christ, so that we may no longer be children tossed to and fro by the waves and carried about by every wind of doctrine, by human cunning, by craftiness and deceitful schemes. Rather, speaking the truth in love, we are to grow up in every way into Him who is the head, into Christ. Now, Lord willing, I'll see you on Sunday. God bless.